Good morning, Intenders.
Good morning.
That's right, it's Monday once again. Monday, February 16th, that is. And we're back with another episode of Morning Intentions. If you haven't joined us in a bit, I'll do a quick reminder of our theme of the month, which is alignment with self. We're on a little bit of an arc from January, February, and continuing on into March. When we get there, January was our month of orientation, where we listened and noticed what is going on inside. This month is all about, as I said, alignment with self. Annette, I'm going to just dump this on you. Would you mind reading our working definition for us to get us started? I want to do this at least once a week. We tend to get a little heavy with it, do it a few days in a row at the beginning. Then I like to have us repeat it at least once a week so we keep our working definition in mind.
Alignment with self means living in relationship with our inner experience, our values, limits, energy, and truth, rather than overriding ourselves to meet expectations, manage outcomes, or keep the peace. Thinking about that, we all decided on Friday that we were going to fast from being out of alignment with ourselves. And that's more of a mind discipline. How did you do with that? Because remember, we're trying to do that for 2 weeks.
Yes, that is our commitment. And if y'all have listened to us for a while, you know our definition for commitment. And then I want to send this over to you. What is our definition for commitment?
When you're fully invested and not merely dabbling.
That's right. So when we're making our commitment to fast from being out of alignment with ourselves, we're fully invested. We're not dabbling. We're not dinking around. We're giving ourselves fully to this cause. And it's only for 2 weeks. We can do most anything for 2 weeks if we know it's good for us. So my experience with fasting from being out of alignment with myself, and we're just getting started, it's only been 2 entire days, or 3, maybe a little bit after that. It's been a curious adventure.
Curious adventure?
A curious adventure.
Tell us more.
Well, because I've sat a lot.
You've sat a lot, like sitting down in a chair?
On a meditation cushion, actually, not a chair, but sitting with the idea of fasting from being out of alignment with myself. Like, what does that look like? How does that feel inside my body? What thoughts go along with that?
So before you go too far,
okay,
what you've done is you've meditated on this idea.
Yes.
Okay.
I learned a few years ago, I always thought meditating was getting every thought out of your mind. I think that is a form of meditation. I also learned another form is to just sit there and think about stuff. Think about what comes up in your heart, what's on your mind, or set your mind on a topic.
That's very Buddhist.
Well, okay, I think that's a pretty good thing to be. So I meditated on how I am in alignment with myself and how am I not in alignment with myself. Took the time to really sit down and think about that. I think I would advise that for everybody. We don't want to just fly by the seat of our pants and hope we get it right. And that you're always reminding us, and this isn't always, that's not being facetious, you're always reminding us to slow down. We don't need to get every answer right away, do everything in one day. Take the time. Slow things down so we can make the best decisions. We can fully align with our hearts and with ourselves, our values, limits, energy, and truth. So that's how I started my fast off. Sitting with this idea of fasting from being out of alignment with myself, and then also being in alignment with myself. I would say in my actions, I act most often in alignment with myself. The big thing for me where I can see myself like, oh, that's more out of alignment than I would like, is in my own thinking.
That's why this is a mind discipline.
It is.
Because everything starts with our thoughts, our beliefs, our thoughts, our feelings, and then our actions.
Right. Whatever we believe, that goes right into our thoughts, and we can actually backtrack and use our thoughts to identify what do we believe. And then, of course, we can use all the tools we have in our toolbox to work on those beliefs, so then our thoughts and feelings and actions can flow from them. So I could see where what I would call out of alignment is, and of course, this is my opinion of myself, and we all do this work for ourselves. I could share, and then Annette, you can't say to me, I mean, you might because you're my mom, and you could give me some mom advice of, maybe it's not really out of alignment, but no one can say what's out of alignment for someone else but themselves. So I would have things where I would I'd see myself while I'm more angry or more upset than the situation requires, than how I really want to be. Even if I don't act that out, maybe I'm cursing in my own head. Maybe I'm more annoyed than necessary. To me, I saw that as being out of alignment because that's not how I want to show up. If I do have my values and my limits, my energy and my truth from our working definition. So I have the way I want to show up. I have my expectations of myself, but then I can have, even if my outward actions are more in alignment, if my thoughts and my feelings are out of alignment more than I would like, there's still some work to do. That's what came up for me in sitting with this idea in my meditations, because I would like my actions, which I think they're the right actions to take. So if I think they're the right actions to take, why don't my thoughts and feelings align with that?
That's where getting clear about your thoughts, because our thoughts can go wild.
Mm-hmm.
And bringing awareness to our thoughts takes discipline also. But then we start to see maybe a pattern. And we're going to talk this week about guilt, because guilt can keep us stuck in that not being aligned space. And it's originating in our thoughts. And that's where taking this work deeper and going into our thoughts and our beliefs, which is where so much of this originates, can guide us so we know where we're going and we can move forward to living a life that is in alignment with ourselves. Guilt is one of the biggest silencers of alignment. There's true guilt. There's also false guilt. That's what we're going to focus on this week because it's a huge subject and it keeps us stuck. And it keeps us stuck, especially when we're doing the work that we're all doing right now, because we're breaking patterns. We're listening, we're noticing, and we're intentionally breaking patterns. And when we start to break patterns, that's when guilt can come up. That's what we're going to look at this week. So let's just watch our thoughts for today and notice if you have guilt coming up when you are in alignment with yourself. Do you question yourself? Do you say you shouldn't be feeling this way? Do you have thoughts that can take you off track as opposed to moving you further on the path to being more true, more honest, more authentic?
And that's a great place for all of us to start with our intention for today. I will notice my thoughts today. I will notice my thoughts today. Don't need to do anything about them yet. As always, we're building awareness, because when we have awareness, we can make better choices. So just be aware of your thoughts today. Thank you so much for joining us. Our day is always better because you are part of our day. See you tomorrow.
See you then.